Hello laddies and ladettes. Remarkably, we are past the halfway mark for our first round of Killer vs Killer, which I thought was pretty cool and would highlight. So to celebrate this, Pig and Legion are going to battle it out. As always with the past 6 Killer vs Killer videos, we will be individually looking at each killer's stats, strength, agility, and lore. I hope you enjoyed the video. Starting with Sneaky Gal Pig, she has a movement speed of 4.6 meters per second, is average height, and has a tail radius of 32 meters. The standard stuff, but she also has an alternative movement speed of 3.6 meters per second when crouched, which hides her tail radius in the process. While crouched, Pig is able to sneak up to her opponents and activate an ability called Ambush Dash. The Pig makes a tiger roar-like sound as she gets up and moves at 6.9 meters per second towards her target. This isn't her main power, however, her main power being reverse bear traps. What this allows the Pig to do is place a mechanical device onto someone's head which explodes, killing the wearer at the end of the timer. She possesses 4 of these and for that reason has to use them willingly. She also only has the ability to place these on downed opponents rather than just use whenever she likes, which is a huge drawback to the Pig. Once on their head, the person has a choice of 4 jigsaw boxes to search through in hopes of finding their trap key. Overall, it's a very weak ability as she has to actually get her opponent onto the ground first, which can be quite challenging as she might as well just finish the job then and there. For these reasons, I'll be giving her a 2 out of 10 for stats. Agility for the Pig looks a whole lot better than her stats, as I do believe her fast movement capabilities. I do believe she has faster movement capabilities than other people. She has a fast-paced movement speed, which helps, but she's also small and nimble, not wearing anything debilitating also. Also being able to sneak around seamlessly helps towards that agility aspect, as you would need to be nimble in order to be a master sneaker. For agility, I'll be giving her an 8 out of 10. Strength for Pig is definitely on the lower side, as she is very small and, as stated before, doesn't seem to possess any strong attributes. I don't have too much to say here other than she's small, weakish looking, and 3 out of 10. Our last category, Sneaky Pig Lady Piggy Girl, is her lore. Her lore is pretty lame, to be blunt, and it's only interesting if you're a die-hard Jigsaw fan. It doesn't really give us anything about the Pig as a killer, other than she's a loyal servant and a sheep, which is ironic because I'm saying it because she's a pig. She also doesn't kill anyone or anything along those lines. In fact, she's kind of just gets shot after working for Jigsaw, out of a fit of rage, and then comes into the entity's grasp. I don't really have much else to say here other than great for Jigsaw fans, but sucky for people that want a well-developed killer with a Dead by Daylight. So overall, I'm going to be giving her a 2 out of 10 for lore. Now we can start talking about Stabby Boy Legion. Before I start talking about the stats, Legion is a group of 4 people, but I'll only be comparing them as 1, as they are all basically the exact same person, although I'll be giving them an extra 3 points at the end, because in the scenario of a fight, I'd expect them all to be there. So, Legion stats consist of having a 4.6 meters second movement speed, the average height, and have a tail radius of 32 meters. So like every killer in the game, basic ass bitch stuff. Their power Feral Frenzy allows Legion to run at 5.2 meters per second and gain the ability to vault windows faster and vault pallets. Not only that, but their tail radius also increases to 40 meters, and they can see a pulsating red blob where their enemies are, making it easy to locate their prey. With that, their field of view is increased by 15 degrees, allowing for them to find their target easier, and once they hit their target, they apply a deep wound onto the person, making that person afflicted, having to heal themselves before they bleed out. Legion is able to run in this mode for 10 seconds before going to a stage of fatigue for 4 seconds unless they're able to land a hit on a target where it will then refresh and fill their meter back up. It takes 20 seconds overall for their Feral Frenzy ability to come back once depleted, but overall this isn't a really bad ability, and it's great for catching up to whoever they're chasing or if they need to get away fast. The only downside is the long fatigue the Legion go into once they miss an attack, becoming vulnerable for 4 seconds. For stats, they will be getting a 7 out of 10. Strength for the Legion is a simple one to decide for me because obviously they are weak as fork, and even in their Mori they actually get fought back by the survivors and kind of struggle to finish the job. So overall I'm actually going to be giving them a 1 out of 10 because if the survivors are able to fight back to you killing them, that is a huge downside, and you would definitely have no hope in taking down another killer if a fucking Dwight is pushing you back. Ability for Legion, however, is looking on the flip side, as they seem quite nimble and fast, and not including the power obviously. They have the perfect physique for fast agility, being small in size and wearing light clothing for finer turns. I'm also sure they would have done a lot of running from their life crime, and having to run away from things like police, meaning they would have built up an endurance for events like these. So overall, I'm going to be giving them a 9 out of 10. Our last category for the fight between Pig and Legion is Legion's Lore. Frank had a bleak childhood growing up, going between foster homes until one day a man called Clive Andrews fostered Frank and he moved to Mount Ormond. One day he met a girl by the name of Julie and he was instantly interested in her. He went to parties with her where he then met the two other people he would join in his posse, Joey and Susie. They would hang out in an abandoned lodge and would go out bullying, vandalizing and steal. One day they decided to vandalize Joey's old workplace that just fired him. Except they weren't prepared for the janitor to still be there grabbing Julie. Frank, hearing her scream, rushes over and plunges a knife into the man's back. Frank ordered the rest of the group to finish the job, Joey and Julie abiding, sticking the knife in. Susie was hesitant, however, Frank grabbing her hands and plunging it into the man's neck. Back at their hangout spot, they begin to dig a grave for the body, as to hide the evidence, but Frank hears noises in the woods close by and went to investigate. Once Frank was nowhere to be seen, the other three joined in going into the forest to look for him and never came back, being swallowed by the fog. This is actually a really cool piece of lore in my opinion, although it isn't really what I'm looking for in a killer. Basically depicts a bunch of teenagers, just following Frank around like puppies, and alludes to the three other members being like completely lost without him. Although with Frank there, his terrific leadership skills can rally a good team, so overall I'll be giving him a 5 out of 10. Now that we've looked at both sides, we can tally up the scores and determine our final victor for the fight. Pig coming to a sad whimper of 15 out of 40, and the Legion coming to a total score of 22 out of 40. But because they're a group of 4, I'll give them an extra 3 points, so they'll bring their score to 25 out of 40. Not that they needed it anyways, as they destroyed the pig, but I mean, means she will be eliminated sadly. And Legion will be making it to the next round, and our next fight will be between Plague and Trickster. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next Killer vs Killer. Bye bye.